I don't know where to begin. Ezra Miller, the franchise killer, piece of shit, and the box office takes a hit. A career that needs to die while the executives cry. A power crap, and there's nothing left to tap. I hate this fucking movie. I'd rather smoke a doobie. Obviously, spoilers, heavy spoilers, starting now. Forgive the background noise, the farm area, chickens, cows, everything in between. But I think they're all singing in protest of this movie, or celebration of this film's bombing at the box office. As it deserves to. I don't jump ahead, and then I'll go back. So the last scene of Michael Keaton as Batman that we may very well get, because there's no guarantee Michael Keaton will ever play the role again. Just think about it from his point of view. He did this twice. One in a film called Batgirl, which bombed. Well, you can't even say that. It bombed in the heads and minds, I guess, of the executives because they didn't even release the film, and apparently will never be released in the film. So imagine that. Of all the films that didn't get released, Batgirl doesn't get released. So it must have been some kind of mind bomb in people's eyes to go, we can't release this. And then this film, which actually bombed, so I guess they thought, well, hell, The Flash bombed. Maybe it was a good idea we didn't release Batgirl. Because more than likely that would have bombed too. So, and then James Gunn's doing his old thing, and maybe, yeah, there'll be standalones, but why would Michael Keaton ever do this again? And for what? A Batman Beyond movie where they already canceled that. There was plans of a Batman Beyond movie, but they canceled that. So, what are you going to do? So, again, there's no guarantee. And if that's the case, then more than likely, the last time you see Michael Keaton as Batman is him dying over and over again. Now, before people say, I understand the story. Long story short, the Flash goes back to save his mom from being killed. Changes one thing. The Ripple Butterfly Effect changes time, but in a very confusing, complicated, convoluted way. But then when he changes and undoes what he did before, everything almost goes back to normal. So you just say, well, technically Michael Keaton, Batman, he lives on in his own timeline. Although still not explaining what really happened. But, you know, okay, yeah, you just assume, yes, of course, he does live. I'm saying as a visual, the last visual thing we see that could very well be the last scene we ever see of Michael Keaton Batman is him dying over and over again, and the literally last scene we see is him dying in the Flash's arms. And a film where he plays second fiddle to not one but two sons of bitches named Ezra Millers. Just one wasn't bad enough. Two is torture. And somehow this film gets a 7.2 on IMDb. With some of the most atrocious CGI since The Scorpion King. With an overlong pacing that just goes wherever the hell it feels like it and has no natural, steady flow of a story. That's a Supergirl that's completely wasted, which I don't think, it's not the actress's fault. With Ezra Miller to not even get into, which I will, all of the BS this guy has done in the real world, not wanting to see his atrocious face, his atrocious personality, his atrocious persona, because he's a piece of trash of a human being that deserves to be in jail. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I would say suck my dick, but he's non-binary, I guess, so I guess he would want neither a dick or a clit. Maybe the Clitter Dome with James Garr and John Lithgow. Maybe he can have that. With one of the worst scenes I have ever witnessed in a superhero movie, the baby scene, which I'll get to complete desperate, I mean fucking desperate attempts at nostalgia with cameos from people who are no longer with us, with atrocious CGI in that too. Yeah, this is a fucking rant. It's a goddamn epic rant. Fuck this fucking piece of shit movie. This may very well be the worst film I have seen this year. From the terrible story to the horrible representation of Michael Keaton Batman. The first fucking scene we see of him, and over an hour in, is his obvious double doing a fight scene with the long gray hair and a big old beard and everything covering his face, so his double could do everything. So then he jumps, the Flash moves, he falls face flat first on the ground, like the old geezer he is. Yes, after his double having this gymnastic fight. And then the first major scene is him explaining time loops and time causal effects over spaghetti. Using spaghetti to explain time to the two Ezra Miller Flashes. Younger and older one. Spaghetti. What is this movie's fucking fetish with spaghetti? Does the director love taking noodles and sticking them up his ass to loop around his intestines come out of his mouth? If so, he should lasso himself onto a plane and get the fuck out of here. Same with the writers of the film. Same with Ezra Miller. The humor being absolutely cringeworthy and unfunny. Before this Ezra Miller, how much of a piece of garbage human being we found him out to be, where he's having kids among guns and weed and attacking people, attacking fans onto the ground, and just, again, a piece of trash human being that should be in jail, that if he was anybody else in the real world, he would be in jail, but Hollywood gets these special fucking privileges for some reason to be above the fucking law. And I would not be surprised about the whole him being non-binary, that gives him special treatment too, which is bullshit, because if we're all human beings, we're all equal, then we all get the true justice of the law, supposedly. But him being non-binary and him being Hollywood elite, apparently, lets him... I mean, my friend made a good point. Johnny Depp got fucking thrown away in the garbage and had that big trial over just allegations made by a nutcase who likes to shit in people's beds. But Ezra Miller gets a free fucking pass, and a fucking film that James Gunn wants... James Gunn, you call this one of the best superhero films of all time? Tom Cruise, you supposedly called and said, what a fantastic movie. Tom Cruise, did you hit your head during the new Mission Impossible movies coming out? Did you have a concussion? James Gunn, if you think this is one of the best superhero films ever made, fuck you and your new DC universe. It's up shit creek without a paddle then. And by the way, for people that want to say I'm a DC hater, I liked the new Batman with Robert Pattinson. I quite enjoyed that film. I liked Joker. Doesn't need a sequel, but I liked Joker Joaquin Phoenix. I liked the second Suicide Squad film. They even had John fucking Cena, and I'm like, you know what? Even I can say he wasn't that bad in that role. I don't like John Cena as an actor or as a wrestler, but I liked that movie. Idris Elba and the way James Gunn directed that. But again, if this is what you call one of the best, no hope for what you're doing. You're Superman up shit creek without a paddle. Ezra Miller, I never thought was a good actor to begin with. I did not like him in the Justice League movies. I thought he was awkward because they're trying to write him. The way his characters were written, the way Barry Allen in those films were written, was to be awkward. And I'm not saying this as an insult. I'm not saying this as a joke. I think he was written to be autistic. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying as a fact. I think they wrote him to be some type of autistic spectrum style character with the way he behaves. Which I don't think Barry Allen has that in the comics, but hey, we have to have that as a representation. I mean, the first fucking scene, I didn't know if I was watching Barry Allen or Rain Man, to be fair. But I did not like him as an actor. I thought he was shit. And then they try to mold him into a wannabe Tom Holland Spider-Man, and that's what they're doing. They're following Spider-Man. The Flash, the way he behaves, the way he talked to Ben Affleck's Batman and the Justice League, either cut. They wanted the Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. from Captain America Civil War, and then Spider-Man Homecoming. It did not work for me. I thought, again, he was an annoying, irritating character, and he's in here tenfold, because there's two of them. So I always thought he sucked as an actor. It makes it 10 times worse knowing how much of a fucking garbage human being he is. Every time I saw him, I wanted him to leave my premises and my brain. I wanted him to walk off the screen. I want him to leave, evacuate my bowels, because he's a shithead. He needs to be flushed down the toilet. I do not give a fuck. I'm tired of Hollywood and people giving pieces of shit a trash. We have good people. Julian Sands passes away. All these other good people pass away. But pieces of trash still get to have jobs. And then there's thoughts of, yeah, we're going to bring him back as the Flash. Good, I hope you bomb again, just like this film. And all this stuff done for a film that fucking bombed. That fucking bombed. That cost you $200 to $300 million. That is second in the U.S. His second weekend dropped to like number 3 in the weekend. Atrocious CGI, lame action sequences, and director, don't give me this, well, the CGI is meant to be that bad. Then you're a fucking idiot. You never direct again. I didn't like your Stephen King shit remakes. If I want it, I'll watch the 1990 miniseries. Yours is more Stephen King shit. Hey, posters, you forgot the S in front of the it. The SH. If it was the S, it'd be Stephen King sit. Or maybe that fits because you might as well have someone sit on your face to watch the fucking movies again. Same with this movie, because it stinks. That's right, it stinks! I hate the way he moves. He runs like a goof, because he is a fucking goof. When they have a goddamn hedgehog running better and using speed, not the drug, but Speed Force better, and Sonic the Hedgehog movies that look less goofy. They made the hedgehog look more badass than this goof that looks like he's either swimming through the air or he's forever tumbling because he doesn't know how to walk. So he's forever tripping over his 2 left feet. Why they thought that looked like a good representation of running, I don't know. It's like he's trying to swim through the fucking air. Stupid. So like I started, I don't know where to begin, so I'll start at the beginning. He goes to a shop to get PB&J and banana, and the way he's acting, I feel like he's going to ask when Wapner is on. Awkward, irritating. Already, I'm annoyed by this guy. I'm annoyed by his existence on my planet Earth. I'm tired of him wasting my air. Please leave the planet, please. He's called to emergency. Jeremy Irons is in there. Ben Affleck as Batman is in there. Which just makes it even more sad that they never got their movie together. You know, they never got their solo movie. See, I didn't remember when the promise was Ben Affleck was going to do his own solo movie. But then Live by Night didn't do well by Ben Affleck. And then Warner Brothers said, I don't know. And then, again, there's no guarantee. People thought that was going to be a guarantee of Ben Affleck Batman movie. Never happened. Well, maybe it'll happen in the future. And monkeys might fly out of my ass. We'll see what happens first. So Ben Affleck is chasing criminals in his motorcycle. I found it funny at one point. The bad guys are going and they fuck up these cars, right? Innocent people's cars. To the point they fall like right here. So what does Ben Affleck do? He gets a device and he runs right through the cars. I'm like, what are you doing, Batman? There's innocent people in these cars. There's innocent people. He just goes, and the cars flip over. There were innocent people. We never saw them get out of the cars. So I hope Batman hitting them and the cars flipping around. Hope they didn't die from that. I hope those cars flip and, oh shit, I broke my neck now. Thank you, Batman, for fucking me and my car up. Thank you. At least Batman Returns, when that was happening, it was Danny DeVito controlling the car, the Batmobile, so Batman could barely control it. Here, he did it on purpose. Yeah, they get to some bad guys, to be fair, that if they drop this thing into the water, it'll kill a lot of Gotham. But still, it's like, I just found it funny, just bash through the two cars. I hope the people in them, I hope they lived. While the Flash is supposed to go to a building because the gas and water pipes have ruptured. And you get the baby scene. And I sat there with my jaw dropped, going, they thought this scene deserved to be in front of people's eyes. This director should not work again. The CGI was absolute dog shit on these babies. It looked like the fucking baby from Ally McBeal. If you wonder why I keep itching my nose, I'm allergic to this bullshit. So high above, this nurse and a bunch of babies fall off the building, and Flash says, "Baby shower." So he's got to jump and eat a bunch of fucking food and burritos for his metabolism. And then he's getting babies. He puts one baby into a fucking microwave. Great, are you cannibal as well, Ezra Miller? Are you Army Hammer? Puts it to a fucking microwave. And the CGI babies look like the fucking... If you don't know, look up Alan McBeal baby. That's what it fucking looked like. So he gets a stretcher. He puts a baby, another baby. He sees a dog is fallen. You never see him save that dog. What I mean by that is he puts a baby. He puts another baby, another baby. He puts the baby in the microwave. I'm like, they put a superhero movie where a baby gets put into the microwave. Well, he didn't turn it on. I'm like, that was their joke. Isn't it funny? He saved the baby, put it in the microwave. Give new meaning to the word Hot Pocket. Maybe a Hot Pocket to serve to the Hulk. Jesus Christ. And then he's pushing the stretcher, and then the next shot No, actually, wait. He has the babies. He's pushing the stretcher. He gets the baby in the microwave. He puts it down. And then all of a sudden, that dog is on the stretcher. We never saw him get the dog and put it on the stretcher. 1 second, it's not there. The next second is there. If you don't believe me, if you ever watched the film, you shouldn't, but you do what you want. I'm not your manager. I'm not your dad. Watch. 1 second, there's no dog. He gets the baby in the microwave. The next second, the dog is on the stretcher. That is that shows the incompetence of editing on such a big budget scale with all these people watching. No one went, wait a minute. Where did that? I mean, we saw the dog falling, but it's like 1 minute he's not on the stretcher. Now he's on the stretcher. Huh. Where did that dog come from? When did he take the dog and put it on the stretcher? But hey, this is 7.2 on IMDb movie, folks. You know, complete dog shit editing, complete dog shit CGI, complete Scorpion King level CGI, complete terrible lead, terrible performance from the lead, terrible person in general. But hey, such a great movie. Why? Because you saw Michael Keaton for a few scenes to masturbate to nostalgia? I don't need nostalgia masturbation. I just go back and watch Batman and Batman Returns if I really want Michael Keaton. It's fucking pathetic. This movie's pathetic. So, while that's happening, Ben Affleck gets on the vehicle. Now, the guy driving looks at Ben Affleck, and he just jumps out of the moving vehicle, probably died, broke his 105 of his bones. Instead of just surrendering, no, he just dove head first into traffic, and I'm sure behind the camera his brain just splattered on the goddamn ground with a tire running over it. Just for a stupid joke. Ben Affleck Batman, they go over the bridge. He's holding the guy. This briefcase, if it falls to the water, it'll kill everybody. Wonder Woman comes in with that stupid music. I always hate that fucking music. It's fucking laughable. She's there to save Batman. Have a joke where, because it's the lasso of truth, Ben Affleck's admitting that this is blah 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 for my parents' death, blah blah blah, and making a joke out of him. And then Ezra Miller admitting that he never had sex. Well, that much is true. He is a fucking virgin. He's a non-binary. He doesn't even fuck numbers. Probably the only person he fucks is himself. Wonder Woman smiles and leaves the movie. And then you get into the actual story where he's trying to get another appeal for his dad, but security cameras, the dad never looked up on the footage. He talks about, I mean, the whole fucking point is, man, if my mom, if they didn't need another can of tomatoes, Dad would not have left, and he would have been there, and Mom would have lived. It's such a supposed to be serious bit of business, but you make your major plot point over a can of tomatoes. Again, what is this fetish with spaghetti? The Flash, Barry Allen loves spaghetti in this movie. Multiple times we see them scarfing down spaghetti, the older one and the younger one. The mom's death hinges on a can of tomato sauce. tomatoes. Michael Keaton explains the whole time thing over noodles and spaghetti. Again, why does this movie have such a goddamn spaghetti fetish? Also, we see the flashback about how this happened. So he's an awful person as a kid as well. The lady who played the mom, she did the best she could. To be fair, well, I'll say the lady who plays Supergirl did the best she could. The lady who plays the mom, and mainly Flashback, she did the best she could. For people to say I'm not being fair and not giving any positives, because those are the two slimmest positives. But okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're upstairs as a kid. Let's say you hear your mom scream bloody murder. What would you do? A, nonchalantly walk down the stairs, or B, dash like a bat out of hell. I think most normal people would be the second one. But no, he hears his mom screaming bloody murder. No word on his face. Calmly walks down the stairs. And then his dad had come home and found the mom dead. Which, by the way, the guy was so smart, he touched the bloody knife with his hand. He's trailing her, but then he's touching the knife. And then letting it go. He's like, oh shit, I better do this. No one knows what the fuck they're doing. No one knows what the hell they're doing. He talks to Ben Affleck and he's like, hey, you know what? I could save my mom. Hell, I could save your parents. Because I could go back in time. And I agree with a friend of mine who said it would be interesting if maybe for at least a minute or two Ben Affleck entertains the idea because this is your parents who died. Man, what could have happened? But then says, you know what, it's tempting. No, you can't do it. It could have made a bit more of an interesting conversation. But the movie's not interested in that. It's just interested in nostalgic bullshit, creepos being leads, and shit CGI. So Ezra Miller goes back and I'm gonna stop calling him the Flash. He's not the Flash. John Wesley Shipp in the 90s, he's the Flash. This guy's not the Flash. The only type of flash he does is probably showing people his dicks wearing a fucking tutu with a butterfinger up his ass. That's the kind of flash he is. He probably does that in his spare fucking time for his Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs personality. Fuck Ezra Miller. Fucking jerk off. So he goes back in time, and his big plan is to get his mom that can of tomatoes. Now, forgive me for asking, why would you plan not be, I don't know, wait outside the house, watch, see who entered the house, and see who killed your mom? Wouldn't that make more sense? You even get into your normal clothes, you're watching across, you know the time it happens, you know the day it happens. If you don't remember, you remember the fucking time your mom got a can of tomatoes? Just watch the house and see who entered. We never find out who killed the mom, which I thought was strange. We never find out who killed the mom. We never find out. Never. Again, why would you not want to know who murdered your mom? Don't you think that's a bit fucking strange? Because if that guy, didn't murder your mom, maybe he murdered someone else. How you know that guy will not come back another time? What if instead of your mom dying that day, maybe she died 2 days later? Maybe she died 2 weeks later. Maybe the killer went, you know what? Let me come back. I won't do this now, but let me come back another day. How the fuck did you know that? You did it. Because the movie is fucking stupid. Stupid. So instead of finding out who your mom's killer is, yeah, you know what? Just go watch Frequency with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. Fuckload better movie. Just point at that film where the mom dies and the father and son, through different time periods, find out the mom's killer. And it's this other killer who's killed other people, so they find out the identity of that person. Much better movie, better story, better everything. Just go watch Frequency. Go watch a lot of movies. Not this one. So he does that. He's trying to go forward in time to the present, but someone or something knocks him out of the loop. So that now he's in an time period where his younger self is 18 years old. So the older Ezra Miller steals an old man's clothes while he's walking with his wife. So, again, shows more how much of a piece of shit he is. Just steals a fucking guy's clothes. Old man's clothes while he's just walking with his woman. Goes in the house. Now I'm sitting there going, dude, why don't you just go get a newspaper? Steal a newspaper, look at the date. It's not about stealing, you stole a guy's clothes while he's walking. If you're able to do that, then you can just go find a fucking newspaper and take it and look at the fucking date and time. And my stomach fucking hates this shit. Look, why don't you do that? Why do you go in the fucking house and be like, I don't know what's going on, I hope I don't fuck everything up again. And then these parents are great detectives because they don't realize that their fucking son is like 20 years older than when he left their fucking premises. He went to school as 18, he came back as 30 or 40. What was 20? No, it's probably, I don't know. It's supposed to be, 2013? So, it is 28, the character is. So, yeah, they don't realize their son is 10 years older. Great parenting. And yeah, what the fuck is he expecting? So he's shocked that he just eats spaghetti and asks his mom, being awkward, annoying, irritating, saying, oh, I know that's stupid for me to ask. Just shut up. Please put a fist in your mouth and swallow. Please. So he sees his 18-year-old self, is like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. So then he tackles his younger self. Won't the parents, by the way, be wondering, wait a minute, your hair was short, now all of a sudden it's long again. How the hell did that happen? So, the two Ezra Millers, because we needed two Ezra Millers. Again, one was terrible enough in terms of acting, personality, and the younger Ezra Miller is even more atrociously annoying. He has this fucking laugh that makes doves cry, that makes ears bleed and assholes clench. I hate your fucking laugh. I hate this. I despise this character. Despise this performance. He was nails on a chalkboard. He was irritating as fuck. Even the older Ezra Miller tells the younger, yeah, no wonder people think I'm annoying. Yeah, take the hint. Leave the premises. So the younger, doing this. A friend of mine said remind him of Leonardo DiCaprio and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Yeah, next we'll see him up on the fucking water tower or something. So he knows it's the day that he gets his powers, and because of things have changed, this younger Barry Allen, this younger Ezra Miller, is not at the crime lab, so he dips into the crime lab. Which I'm thinking, again, it just like so many fucking things change in the past and the present. Who's to say the fucking lightning will hit there the same way in the same time? Because, and that's what I mean. This whole fucking time thing they do is so complicated and over convoluted. Because, to jump ahead, the way Michael Keaton explains it with fucking noodles and spaghetti, you think time is linear, it's not. You think it'll just break, the way I put it, the alternate 1985, Back to the Future 2. No. It's like this. Well, there'll be one moment, but then the past is different, and the future is different. And so people could be different. It's like... So again, if all the past is changed, where there's a completely different Bruce Wayne, and Eric Stoltz starred in Back to the Future, they run that into the ground for like 5 fucking minutes. Yeah, there's like a 5-minute conversation. Eric Stoltz did star in Back to the Future. Oh, that was Michael J. Fox. Who? The guy in Footloose? No, it's Kevin Bacon. Oh, the guy in Top Gun. And I think don't they call that movie gay? Which I find weird because isn't that supposed to be offensive to do now? But again, I guess if they say it, it's okay. So in a way, they made fun of Top Gun. And then... So if the past and the future changes, but... Yep, this lightning's going to hit the same spot at the same time. What if it did? Whatever. This movie doesn't care about that shit. It really doesn't. So he does it. He's able to phase through the wall. I know the Flash can do that in the comics. But is he able to take people and do it too? Won't they die? Won't their body get completely fucked up? He takes the younger Ezra Miller, vibrates through the wall. And he's able to do that with people. I mean, when they fucking die, because the body couldn't take that amount of... the amount your body has to shake to go through a wall. Wouldn't their body break down and die? I know. What, Matt? You looking for realism in this flat... I know. It's just a question I have that the movie's too stupid to ask. So, lightning hits it, but older Ezra Miller doesn't get out of the way. So they both get hit by lightning. So, older Ezra loses power. Younger Ezra Miller gets his powers. And again, the jokes and the humor they put into this. Like him doing the goofy running and, I'm too slow. And it just... And this young Barry, like he, at one point... testing his powers, and he's outside fucking butt-ass naked. It's just been an annoying shitburger that I don't want to take a bite in, and you don't either. Also in this universe, Wonder Woman and Aquaman don't exist. Just because. I will be honest, I never read the Flashpoint Paradox, the Flashpoint story, but I have seen the movie, the animated film, the Flashpoint Paradox, which was much more interesting than this. Because that dealt with the Flash going back, and then all of a sudden all this stuff's happening. He doesn't know why in the animated movie. And Bruce Wayne didn't live. It wasn't the mom and dad that died. It was the mom and son that died. And the dad, Thomas Wayne, then became Batman. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are still there, but they make a war with each other between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans. And they have a big old battle where death on both sides happen. Superman, he still exists, but he's locked up in government facility. So these characters still... exist, but again, either one, Bruce Wayne died when he was a kid, or the other two are warring factions. Even that makes a bit more sense in a weird way in a butterfly effect than this. Just the only reason they did this bullshit is for nostalgia, to bring Michael Keaton's Batman in there. Because they felt the Flash, Ezra Miller's not going. They were right, but even with Michael Keaton, it didn't help because it fucking still bombed. The only reason was to have nostalgia. Just the only reason this movie exists is because of Spider-Man No Way Home, which I thought that film fucking sucked too, but this was way worse. That film I thought sucked ass too, with the dumbest Peter Parker. Yeah, I'll trust all you villains who tried to murder me. In fact, I will trust you so much, I will invite you to my Aunt May's house. Hey, Aunt May, make some pies for him. Nah, I'm not going to tell you to get the fuck out of Dodge, Aunt May. I'm not going to tell you and Jon Favreau to, I don't know, take a vacation, go to Disneyland, go to Universal Studios, go on a camping trip. Nah, I don't want to make sure you stay here with the, 5, 6 fucking bloodthirsty villains ready to kill my ass. And, there's no way they would ever turn on us. No way. Oh, Aunt May died? I couldn't see that coming. Ooh. Oh, I need to go change everything. Is it because your family is in danger? Well, not really. Is it because your friends, something happened? No, not really. My friends can't get into college. They can't get into the college they want. So I need to, fuck with the multiverse. And Doctor Strange goes along with it, thinking, oh, maybe it's one of those scrolls, maybe it's a fate. No. Doctor Strange is that much of a fucking idiot. But anyway. So the two Ezras, they see that Zod has come down. And where's Superman? We need, oh, there is a Batman. Let's go find him. And so they get to Batman's place, which is for some reason run down, deserted. The doors just left wide open. They go in, and then Michael Keaton's double, with the hair over his face, and big gray beard. The cover, who he is doing these fights, because Michael Keaton is pretty old. And it ends with one of the Ezra's going out of the way, the younger one, and then, while Michael Keaton jumps and flat on his face. And then again, explains by spaghetti what's going on. And then Michael Keaton, like, again, the waste. That's another atrocious thing about this movie. The fucking wasted potential. Like, I'm of the subject of mind nowadays, don't bring anything back. Very, very rarely has that been successful. You did more Star Wars The Last Jedis and Force Awakens. The Star Wars, Star Trek, Terminator, Alien, Predator, Ninja Turtles. The list goes on of stuff they brought back and just completely shit the bed. Let's kill off Han Solo. Let's kill off Luke Skywalker. Let's kill off Luke Devereaux. Let's kill off Dante from Clerks. Let's kill off John Wick. Just kill off, more and more and more and more and more. And just other shit. I'm sick and tired of it. That's why I don't want anything to come back. Let's have a dog shit Bill and Ted 3 where they're losers and their daughters have to save the day. Don't come back. Don't have anything come back. I'm of that mind. But, if you're going to bring back Michael Keaton's Batman, the wasted potential to put him in a Batgirl movie that got shelved, to put him in this movie to be second fiddle to Ezra Miller, to two of them. Imagine bringing Michael Keaton Batman back for a standalone Dark Knight Returns. You could look at as a Batman 3. Or a Batman Beyond movie. You don't think that would have been better suited? A better return? Because now you've seen him, he's returned, the nostalgia's worn off. If he does do another thing, it's not going to have the same impact. And it's really trying to melt that nostalgia. Oh, there's the bit of Danny Elfman music. Oh, there's the bat suit. There's the... Oh my god, one of them found the little Joker bat that laughs. Oh my god. Michael Keaton said, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Even though it makes no sense to the scene, because the reason he said it in Batman 89 was as a ploy to fake out Joker. To make him pissed off, to look at him, to try to get him to shoot him, because he had something underneath his chest, so that he could get away. That's not really how Batman talks. That's not really how Michael Keaton's Batman Bruce Wayne talks. He did that as a ploy, as a facade against Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's like the fucking... when they did that fucking Yoda in the new Star Wars, thinking, well, Yoda, yeah, he's a goofy, laughing. No, he did that as a facade to Luke in Empire Strikes Back to bring down his defenses. How is he going to treat me? And then he makes the switch and go, being ultra serious, because that's who Yoda really is. Not this goofy goofball gooferton. Goofy goober. Same with this. Like, I don't think Michael Keaton was that good. It was disappointing. I'm sorry, I'm tired of the nostalgia glasses being thrown about. I'm sick and fucking tired of nostalgia. Fucking sick of it. It's a fucking cancer in today's age that is being cut out now. It's killing movies today. It truly is. If this amount of nostalgia was around in the 80s, we wouldn't have so many of those fucking classics that became classics, like Escape from New York, or The Evil Dead 1 and 2. Or... depends which genre you want. Action, First Blood, Commando, RoboCop, The Terminator. It's like, let's get back, this from 1952 and this from 1980, Even when they did that, they did sparingly compared to today. Hey, let's do another Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Let's do the Blob remake. And they made it work so much better. So, Michael Keaton's Batman, he sees that the world is in trouble. He sees that the world could end, and he tells him, no, I'm not going to help. This thing's going to kill the world, including your precious Gotham, and you're not going to help? Doesn't explain why. Doesn't explain why. Was he haunted by something? No, he's not Batman anymore because Gotham is one of the safest cities in the world. But again, this thing is going to kill the whole world and you're not going to do anything. Okay. He only comes around because he sees Ezra Miller talking about you doing this for his mom and blah blah blah. Then he changes his mind. So they think Superman is in this government facility. He gets the bat plane. They go over there. They get Supergirl. Which ends up being pointless, by the way. This whole thing of getting Supergirl ends up being pointless because, to jump ahead, they can't defeat Zod. Two Flashes, Batman, and Supergirl cannot defeat Zod. Superman could defeat Zod by himself. By himself. But these four can't defeat him. Don't you think that's kind of weird? But they're doing it as a gist of the story that there's no way they could win. So by doing so, Flash then has to make the decision to undo everything. And the younger Ezra Miller doesn't like that, and so on and so forth. But it just goes to wow. That's how ineffectual Michael Keaton's Batman is. Ben Affleck's Batman to defeat Superman by himself. But preparation time. But Michael Keaton's Batman, even with 2 Flashes, even with a Supergirl, they can't defeat Zod and these guys. They can't do it. So that proves the whole Batman could do everything. No, because this Batman sure can't. Oh, but he has this fight. Yeah, he fights a bunch of random people in a government facility. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It's not a bad scene in terms of, oh, wow, cool. Michael Keaton's Batman's finally doing some of the shit he never got to do in the old films. But for what purpose? A bunch of random fucking government soldier guys to get a girl that was pointless to get anyway because they were going to lose anyway. Because they're just going to end up with the Flash going back in time to undo everything. Like, this is what you waste this on? Not something that actually had a story that Batman and such could really affect? The most effect he did is to get the older Ezra Miller his powers back. I guess, hey, you got Supergirl so that she gets his powers back. So I guess that's why they need to get Supergirl, because at the end of the day, she helped him. Michael Keaton helped him get Supergirl, and Supergirl helped Ezra Miller get his powers back. Because this Ezra Miller's this Barry Allen was a fucking idiot. Also, why the fuck was Michael Keaton's Batman just going to leave the girl? They go in, I guess he's not here. He's going to just leave the girl? So Michael Keaton's Batman is an asshole? Yeah, there's a girl there, weak, looks half dead. Yeah, Michael Keaton's Batman just don't leave her. He's not here. Let's go. And it's up to Ezra Miller. No, we can't leave her behind. Why should he have to say that to fucking Michael Keaton's Batman? Did not leave a defenseless poor girl who they think at the time, because they don't know is Supergirl yet. Yep, Michael Keaton's Batman is such an asshole that he would just leave a poor defenseless girl in this bit here. Yep, that's yep. Good job, writers. Whoever likes this film, please actually explain what I'm saying, how it connects to you enjoying the film. Please explain, please. It was nice to see Michael Keaton again. Wouldn't it be nicer to see him in a good movie instead of wasted on this bullshit? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better? Sorry, I'm tired of nostalgia masturbation. Sick of it. It's pointless. It's useless to me. And there's literally a scene where there's a guy that looks like a fucking cook. I don't remember who he was, but he looked like a fucking cook. He looked like the Swedish chef with the fucking thing. And Batman is doing like a pump steer. And the guy's not moving. And then Michael Keaton does it again. And the guy doesn't move. And then he gets a gun. And then the younger Ezra Miller gets wounded. Good. Should shot him in the head. And then Michael Keaton, gets the cape and bulletproof. So Michael Keaton's Batman does like 2 pump fake steers. And the Swedish chef didn't fucking get scared of him. How fucking embarrassing. So they get outside. They find out the lady is Supergirl. She gets her powers back from the sun. Terrible CGI abounds with her hidden people. They get back. Supergirl doesn't know what's going on. Doesn't know if she should trust humans because she was locked away. And again, the actress is doing the best she can. She really was not that bad. She's just given nothing in terms of a character script-wise. I mean, yeah, she looks a bit like she would be in Jared Leto's band 30 Seconds to Mars. She's like she'd be a singer or a drummer or someone in that band. or one of those bands. But so a little bit like emo look, But the actress was not bad. Again, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. So she flies away, doesn't know what's going on, sees Zod, what he's doing, goes back. They try to get the older Ezra Miller's powers back. It fails at one point. So then she takes him into the fucking sky to get fried, and he gets his powers back. So Mark is like, this team you had, what's it called? Justice League. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. What kind of nuts? My nuts in your mouth movie? Planner's nuts? Baby Ruth nuts? Stealing my friend Michael's jokes. Michael Keaton, the choice voice, he did a great job, great video on this. Check his video out. Better than my video. This is... So they go into battle, you get this... Again, it doesn't even know what tone it wants to fit. It wants to have goofy-ass fucking humor, like the younger Ezra Miller, he has a new suit, and it won't fucking fit his face. And the two trying to fight with this crap music playing, but then a minute later, Supergirl gets stabbed, and you find out Kal-El died as a baby because Zod killed him. And then Michael Keaton, his plane is hit, and he does a suicide bombing on one of the ships. And then they go back in time and try to save it. So the older Ezra Miller warns Michael Keaton, but then he fights a Kryptonian. You think he blows him up, but he gets slammed on the ground. That Kryptonian just gets back up, so it didn't do anything. And Michael Keaton's Batman dies of his wounds in the Flash's arms. While Supergirl keeps getting stabbed over and over again. And the younger Flash keeps trying to go back through time, thinking he can fix it. But apparently it's inevitable. No matter what they do, they never win. It's kind of like Doctor Strange, right? No matter what we do, we never win unless there's one scenario. If I give this ring to Thanos. The gym. So the last time we visually see Michael Keaton is him dying in the Flash's arms. Again, let me repeat, I understand Flash goes back, he fixes everything, so yes, technically he's alive, even though where he's at, it makes it more confusing, which I'll get to. But the last visual theme we see in Michael Keaton, that all we know, he will never play this character again. The last visual theme we see is him fucking dying in the Flash's arms. And saying, thank you. No, fuck you. Fuck you movie, fuck you Ezra Miller, fuck you writers, fuck you directors. Do you imagine that? Like the last visual representation of Michael Keaton's Batman you see is him dying? The second time him dying in the movie. And they thought this was great. Did you never see him, like, when everything's fixed and, oh, this is where Supergirl's doing now, this is where Michael Keaton's Batman's doing now, everything is set to normal? Just a brief shot. Just have a brief shot with Michael Keaton's in his timeline and maybe something... Okay, to jump ahead, when everything's back to almost normal, is Michael Keaton's Batman, is he back in his desolate home with his door still unlocked, his full beard and gray hair, making more spaghetti? Is he doing that? Is he doing something else? We don't fucking know. Supergirl. Is she back in that government facility? Trapped? Is she ready to battle Zod, which she's going to fail? Because if she failed with 2 Flashes and a Batman, she don't fail by herself. So what happened to Supergirl? Is she trapped in the facility, or is she going to fight a Zod and die, or both? That's pretty depressing. I mean, Michael Keaton is just retired. Was the part that was his realm Gotham being at peace, or was it not? And he's just again retired and sitting there with his gray beard, ready to spill some tomato sauce on it. We don't fucking know. It's like Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man, No Way Home. It's like the fucking bit there, where what happened to the villains that now that they've been cured? What happened to Alfred Molina? What happened to Jamie Foxx? When they go back, wasn't the one of the things they were ready to die, and then they went into there? Do they go back and die? Do they go back and get killed? Do they go back and just get arrested? Hey, you cured. You're going to jail forever. At least you cured, though. What happens? Because the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they're from a time when all this stuff has already happened, while these other guys are from different time points in their past. So, what happens to them? You never fucking know. That's an important part of the story, and they just say, fuck it. You don't need to know. Yes, I fucking do, because it's an important part of the story you built up, you fuckface. So, going back to Bat, it's not working. The older Ezra Miller is in the time bubble, seeing the younger going back, telling him there's no way to fix this. And the thing that hit him earlier, this crystal creature, you find out that's Dark Flash. That this younger Ezra Miller had gone back for so long and became this creature, this thing. And he's ready to kill the older Barry. Oh yeah, this is where now universes are getting fucked up. And this is where you see Adam West Batman. You see an awful fucking CGI Christopher Reeve with Helen Slater from Supergirl. An awful fucking CGI. This looks like PlayStation 1. Why did you think I wanted to see a Christopher Reeve and PlayStation 1 graphics? Oh, you get to see Nicolas Cage fighting the giant spider. Which some people would... Imagine being someone who don't know what the fuck that is. Because not everybody knows the story about the Kevin Smith, Tim Burton, almost Superman movie. Some people don't know what that is, so they don't be confused. I would say, I wish that movie existed. Nicolas Cage in the suit, fighting that giant spider. I wish I could see that movie instead. Can I see that movie instead? Even as anime, just make it an animated movie. Can I see that movie instead? Can you do that? Can you take that script? Can you take that story? Can you take those actors and do an animated film? Superman Lives? Can we get that movie? Why not? I'd rather you spend the money on that than this bullshit 200, 300 waste of time. Would have been more fitting. Would have been more worth your money. And they're colliding, and then when the young Ezra Miller dies, because he saves the older Ezra Miller, Dark Flash dies, and then the universes are now safe. So the universe is now safe, but he needs to go back, and he undoes what he did with the can of tomatoes. But he does one thing to change. He puts one thing up top. Which again, I'm thinking, how do you know he would look up anyway? Because there's a shitload of other tomato cans there. But hey. So even though he knew how much of this fucking ripple effect it caused, he still changes something. So he didn't learn anything. That's the thing. He didn't fucking learn anything. He still changed the fucking past. Instead of putting the tomato sauce in the fucking cart, he put the tomatoes on here. So he didn't fucking learn anything. So what was the point of the fucking movie? He didn't learn anything. Well, he learned that his mom had to die, but hey, I just still fixed with my dad. He didn't fucking learn anything. So instead, he gets back. His dad's free. But when he goes see Bruce Wayne, it's George Clooney. You're not Bruce. You're not Batman. I know I'm stuttering. And then George Clooney laughing like, yeah, kids, I know I'm not Batman. And then it ends with him still in heaven. He still has fucked up the timeline. That's never resolved. So not only do we not know what happened to Michael Keaton's Batman, really, like, we assume he's alive, but we don't know where's he. Ben Affleck's Batman is gone at this point. At this point of the movie, Ben Affleck's Batman has been wiped out of existence. So if you like Ben Affleck's Batman, tough titty, he's gone. He's wiped out. Just what's he going to do? Go back and make his dad still be in jail? Or, oh well, Ben Affleck's Batman, oh well. At least, it's oh well. We'll have George Clooney here. So yeah, Ben Affleck's Batman is wiped out of existence. So if you're a fan of them, tough titty. Supergirl, either she's trapped in the facility or Zod's ready to kill her or whatever, she's fucked. Michael Keaton's Batman, you just assume all you want. Shit in one hand, assume in the other, see which gets filled up first. Your piece of shit lead character didn't learn a goddamn thing. Your CGI was dog shit. Your plot was overly convoluted. Tried to do 18 things at once. Trying to be Spider-Man No Way Home, since that film made $1 billion, but you're not. You have barely made $100 million in the U.S. so far. Michael Keaton is completely wasted, playing second fiddle and talking about spaghetti and dying. The last thing we see of him is him fucking dying. I can't make this shit up. Jerk off material, masturbation, nostalgia porn. Terrible humor, awful acting, unfunny. Just again, the two Ezras, Dumb and Dumber. You pick which is the dumbest. Fucking irritating, awkward, unfunny performances. And plus, he's a piece of shit human being as well. That doesn't help. Again, you put babies in microwaves. Dogs that just magically appear on the stretcher. That never showed him actually taking the dog. So terrible editing. Desperate cameos. There's Wonder Woman. There's Adam West Batman. And there's Christopher Reeve. And there's even Nick Cage. There's George Clooney. This movie is fucking garbage. So I said I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to begin, but I guess an hour and 8 minutes, there you go. That still kills me. The last time we may well see Michael Keaton visually as Batman is him fucking dying in Ezra Miller's arms. And if that's not an atrocity, I don't know what is. Well, he's old. Get the fuck out of my face with this shit. Pronto.